Greetings all and welcome to lesson 5 on AlgoFox Academy. In the last 4 lessons, we spoke about absolute basics of stock market and how a company gets listed onto the stock markets. Now, moving ahead, we are going to talk about few rules and regulations related to how exactly you can trade in these stocks. You see, when you purchase shares on NSE or on BSE, you become a shareholder or also called as equity holder of those companies, and hence this market is also called as share market or equity market. Now also, to buy the shares you essentially pay out money or cash, and sometimes this market is also called as cash market. Basically, stock market, equity market or cash market are all one and the same. Now this market has certain timings, rules and certain short abbreviations. We're going to talk about each of them one by one. Let us start with timings of this market. Now every country has its own exchange and every country has its own timing for this exchange. In Indian market, both NSE and BSE starts at 9:15 am and ends at 3:30 pm. That means if you want to purchase any shares or if you want to sell your existing share, you can do it between 9:15 am to 3:30 pm Monday to Friday. Now this 9:15 am to 3:30 pm is called as market session. Now before this market session, we have a pre-market from 9 am to 9:15 am, and after 3:30, from 3:30 to 4:30 we have post-market session. Let us talk about what happens in pre-market session. During pre-market session from 9 am to 9:15 am, in the first 8 minutes of pre-market, that is from 9 am to 9:08 am, you can place your orders to purchase any share. A lot of people punch buy orders and sell orders during the first 8 minutes of the pre-market, and it is called as order filling window. The first 8 minutes is called as order filling window, and from 9:08 am to 9:15 am, the next 7 minutes, exchange does order matching, also called as order matching window. Now from 9 am to 9:08 am, whichever order has the highest value of demand and supply, or at whichever price we have highest buyer and highest seller, that would be called as open price, and our market will open at 9:15 am with that particular price. Now after 9:15 am, depending upon the buyers and sellers, the prices will keep fluctuating up or down. If we have more buyers than seller, that means there is more demand for that stock in the market, and because of the demand the prices will go up, and when the market goes up, it is also called as bullish market. Similarly, when there are more sellers than buyers, it means there is more supply in the market than demand, because of which prices falls down, and it is called as bearish market. The reason why we have bull and bear reference is because whenever bull wants to attack, it will attack this way, basically throwing a particular prey up. Similarly, when bear want to hunt, it will hunt with its hand up like this and throws its prey down. So bull basically represents market is going to go up, and bear represents market is going to fall down. Now interestingly, you can make money both when the market is going up and even when the market is going to go down. Let us talk about them step by step. Consider you want to buy 100 shares of State Bank of India because you feel that the market of State Bank of India is going to go up. Now you can purchase State Bank of India between 9:15 am to 3:30 pm, and let us say when you are trying to buy, that time the price of State Bank of India is 300 rupees per share. Now this 300 rupees price that you see in the market is also called as CMP, also called as current market price. CMP is also called as LTP, also called as last or latest traded price. So CMP and LTP are one and the same. Effectively, investors buy shares at CMP, that is in my case it will be 300 rupees per share, and if I'm buying 100 shares, my investment will be 300 into 100, that is 30,000 rupees. Now, when I'm buying shares, my expectation is that the share should go up. So let us say if the share prices goes up to, let us say 305, I will get a profit of 500 rupees. And let us say if my target is to make 500 rupees profit, I can sell those shares at 305. So in this case, my target was 500 rupees. Target is also called as TGT. TGT stands for target. Now, whenever we talk about stock markets, we never talk about targets in terms of money or rupees. We always say targets in reference to the stock price. In my example, my target was 305. Similarly, if I had to make 1000 rupees profit, I will not say my target as 1000 rupees. Rather, I will say my target as 310. So now this is when the market is going in my favor and I am making money. What if instead of market going up, it goes down? For every 1 rupee the market goes down, I lose 100 rupees because I have 100 shares. So if the market goes from 300 to 295, I'll effectively lose 500 rupees. Now a lot of beginners make this simple mistake. Whenever the market is going up, even if they're getting 500 to 1000 rupees profit, they'll quickly exit. And sometimes when the market is going down, they'll see a big loss, but they'll keep holding those shares with an expectation that someday from the market going down, the market might take a U-turn and they might get some profit. In some cases, that day never comes. For example, in case of Yes Bank went from 400 rupees to 12 rupees. Idea went from 120 rupees to 10 rupees. PC Jewelers went from 600 rupees to 60 rupees, so forth and so on. So sometimes even a single script can erode your entire wealth, and that is why it is very important to put a threshold on your losing levels also. And the threshold is called as stop loss, also called as SL. Now in my case, if I decide that the maximum loss that I want in my State Bank of India should be only 500 rupees, then as soon as State Bank of India falls down to 295, I'll exit at 295, accepting my loss of 500 rupees and coming out of the trade. And this 295 level is my stop loss level. So effectively, whenever we take an entry in any particular stock, there are three things very important. First is your entry price, the price at which you enter. Second is the target price, that exit where you will get profits. And third is the stop loss price, the price which is your threshold to book loss. Once we get to that level, we'll exit out of the trade. Now this example is when we're expecting State Bank of India to go up. What if we are expecting State Bank of India to go down? What if I am expecting that State Bank of India will reach from 300 directly to 290? First thing, I'll not buy the share at all. But can I make money knowing that market is going to crash down? Well, the answer is yes. And the concept to make money in the crashing market is called as short selling. In short selling, we sell the stocks first without even owning them, and when the prices falls down, we buy back later at a lower price. Now this might sound very confusing, that how exactly am I going to sell the shares which I don't even own? Well, the answer lies in credit. Now to explain credit in a simple way, consider this pen as an example. Let us say we have a person named Shyam who has a small shop. In his shop, there are users who purchase this pen from him. Now Shyam will go to a bookstall, a bigger wholesale bookstall. He'll purchase this pen, let us set 15 rupees first, and then sell to his user at say MRP of 20 rupees. For each pen, he makes a profit of 5 rupees. Now this is simple way of doing business. He's buying the pen first and then selling the pen later. This is exactly what we did in our previous case of State Bank of India. We bought the State Bank of India shares at 300 first, then sold at 305 later. What about short selling? Consider the same example of Shyam. In this case, Shyam does not have any money to pay to the bookstall, the wholesale bookstall. Now what will he do? He'll go to the bookstall and ask for credit or loan. Well, what Shyam will do is Shyam will say, I need pen, but I'll pay you money after 6 hours. Say bookstall trusts him and gives him this pen on credit. Now Shyam has not purchased this pen at all. He just took it on credit. He comes to his shop and then he sells this pen first. So in this transaction, selling is happening first. So Shyam will sell this pen to his user at 20 rupees. Take this 20 rupees and then go back to bookstall and pay him 15 rupees. So the difference is again 5 rupees. So in short selling, we sell the asset first, and when the prices drops, we buy it later at a lower price. The same is applicable in stock market also. We take shares on credit from exchange. Exchange definitely gives us on credit, and then we sell it to someone. When the prices falls down, we buy back later and return those shares to exchange, and the short cycle is complete. Now, after discussing CMP, LTP, TGT, SL, short selling, let's move to few more terminologies. The next term is intraday. Intraday represents buying and selling within the same day, or in the case of short selling, selling first and buying back later within the same day. So if you complete the entire cycle within a day, that means you purchase some shares and then sell it to someone else within a day, or in the case of short selling, you sell it first and then buy back later in the same day, that process is called as intraday. And yes, it is absolutely possible. There is no minimum time limit to hold a particular script. You can buy the shares and sell within few minutes or even few seconds, or you can hold it forever. In case you buy and sell within a day, that is called as intraday. The next term is delivery. Delivery is opposite to intraday. That means if you are holding a particular share for more than a day, it can be 2 days, 3 days or 100 days or forever, that is called as delivery. Delivery is also called as CNC, that is cash and carry. That means you pay the cash and you carry the share. So CNC and delivery are one and the same. Now, when we buy first and sell later, that cycle is called as long position. And when we sell first and buy later, that is called as short position. Now, long and short both can be done for intraday. That means you can initiate a long position in intraday and also a short position in intraday. But for delivery, only long positions are valid for delivery. Short positions are not eligible for delivery. Now the question again comes, why is short position not valid for delivery? The answer is very simple. Short position involves credit, and any type of credit or loan is subjected to time boundation. Let's go back to our example of Shyam. Shyam takes pen on credit from bookstall and he promises to repay within 6 hours. If he does not make any such promise, bookstall will never wait for Shyam to sell the pen and then return the money. There has to be some time boundation. Similarly, when exchange gives you shares on credit, exchange cannot wait forever so that someday you will sell the shares and you will buy back and then repay the shares. No. Exchange says, if I am giving you my shares today on credit, I want the shares back today itself. And hence, short selling is valid only for intraday. Whereas long position, you're basically paying the cash, you're becoming a shareholder, you can do absolutely anything with those shares. You can sell it within a day, that is intraday, or carry it forever, that is delivery. So to summarize, long position can be done in both intraday and delivery. Short positions can be done only on intraday. Also, in the case of both long position and short position, our entry price, target price and stop loss price matters a lot. In my next video, I am going to take few long positions in my Demat account, few short positions in my Demat account, and I am going to teach you how you can make money in the rising market as well as in the falling market. See you in my next video.